Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. In this episode, we're going to be finishing up this antimony build, so let's keep working on this. And yeah, other than that, we're just going to keep tending to the Zen Garden. I don't know exactly where the future goes, but it's bright either way. Alright, so if I'm remembering correctly, we had got these set up, and that's the initial crushing and screening that gets us all to here where we need 20 screeners. Good gravy, that's a lot of screeners. So then we're gonna need something going on here to fit all 20 of those. I don't even know, will 20 of them fit? We just do 2 by 10? Or is that not gonna work? So there's 7 apiece, so we need 70. You know, that technically fits. Wow. But just barely. And the other problem is we have 2 belts in, so I think, given we have a little bit of extra space, I'm gonna move these 2 tiles over. Because, let's see, so we're gonna have, what recipe is it? I don't know. Excuse me, sorry about that. Didn't get a chance to mute myself before sneezing. Alright, grade 2 antimony goes to blah, 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 3 things. So we need to load in 1 a second on grade 2, but we load out 0.88 a second. So 1 yellow inserter in, 1 yellow inserter out. We've got slightly more than 1 belt of input is the problem. So what we could do is we could split the input to 2 belts here. And then each building, or each row of 10 gets its own, you know, input belt. And then would that connect power pole wise? No, wait. Let's stretch that out a bit more. Okay, so let's try that. I think that'll work power pole wise. Yeah. So that would work, and then the output is just jumbled garbledy-gook, but it should be less than a full belt. Wait, no, it's still more than a full belt. Shoot. Because what was it, 0.88? Yeah. That's annoying. I could use a stack inserter, but that's also annoying because there's 3 types. I mean, I guess, hold on. Wait, this works. We can get 2 belts out. Okay. Hold on. I think we're okay here. And I actually can do that alternating thing because then it gets all the inserters. And all the buildings. So I think this does it. The problem is the belt management here is a little tight. Like really, like maybe too tight. Because this It'd be really nice if I only needed 19 buildings, because then I could utilize that corner. How do we fix this? I mean, I could have 2 more buildings. Or I could have 1 building there. And that kind of opens up this corner a little bit better. It's a weird way to do it, and I'm not sure. Should be able to fit 10 boffs down there, so I think that'll be okay. I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but as you guys can tell. Should be fine. Is that right? No. There we go. Okay, so we do that. Put that there, and then this is copied. Boop. And then boop. And then boop. What was this and why is it here? What? What the heck? I'm filtering out. Maybe that was an old belt that had stone on it. Must have been an old belt that had stone on it. What's supposed to be on this belt? Ash? Yeah, this is an ash belt. I definitely encroached into the belt territory here. Yeah, that's the ash belt. But was that supposed to be coming from up here? Do we not make ash up here? I guess we don't. We only make ash where we have basic oxygen furnaces, so. Oh, do these really not connect? But those would? Oh, that's annoying. So there's those, and then the output of this building. Oh wait, those are all going onto 1 because it's 2.4. Yeah. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to filter out stone from both of these. And then what we want is something like this. And then we want to merge that like that. And now we have 2 belts. I'm not going to connect it yet, but we have 2 belts. Doing that. And then this is a close side. This one is here. Okay, so those are still the 2 output belts. And then this input belt, one of them just needs to squiggle. Let's do this. Okay, one of them just needs to do that. So these are gonna have grade 3 as well as part of the problem, or the challenge, as we can call it. And there's stone. Can I put stone and gravel on the same belt? Because we redirected all stone and gravel, right? Yeah. We did. So stone and gravel can go on the same belt. So then we can filter out well, let's filter out the one we need, which is grade 4, into the middle, and the other ones will join together. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing well. It's a little bit of a weird day for me because I'm actually recording high in the afternoon, not the morning, so I don't know. It's like I'm out of sorts. I don't know what to do with myself. Okay, so we should be able to put those on the same belt, actually. So that means I can just merge that into one belt. And things should already be distributed in terms of belt side. So then here, we should also be able to go into one belt, and then we're gonna need the building that we had. Is it another screener? No, it was like a crusher or something. Where is it? There it is. Secondary crusher is needed for the grade 3 to grade 4. And then we need to priority load that. How do I do that easily? I guess just like this. Just in case I need to put it on both sides of the belt. And so then the grade 3 is here. That gets fed in like that, so that's done. Oh shoot, wait, what? Is this totally the wrong numbers? What's going on here? Wait, what? 1.5? And that's only using... Oh no. Why is that set to 11.3%? What? Oh, there, it shows the output. Grade 3 antimony and grade 1 antimony. These are the wrong numbers. Oh, no. How did I not catch that? I thought something looked off. Aw, shucks. Crap. Okay, wait, divided by 1.352. Okay, wait, we're still okay. We only needed 7, actually, and 18. What? I think I screwed something up. I do need 2 secondary crushers, though, unfortunately. But that lightens the load a lot. That actually means I can ditch this weirdness. And then that opens up the option to have my 2 secondary crushers, like, up here. Like that. Apparently I don't have secondary crushers in the auto mall, so let's get those added in. Boop. I'll just say 9. Okay, so then... how does that change this part? That means this part can look a lot simpler. That can shortcut 1 tile. And now that might actually reach. Yeah, it does. Perfect. Okay, so that's a lot cleaner. That's a lot cleaner. All right, much better. And then we can then move this up to like here. So now we've got this over here, and this can do gravel to the right. Maybe. Hold on. No, we don't quite have enough space. We gotta put this here. So So gravel will get combined with stone. What's the total gravel stone out? It's actually quite a bit. So let's put the gravel on its own side of the belt. I could even see this could be a space for a stack inserter to reduce gravel loads. And then I think I can do that to put it on the close side of the belt. Okay, so there's our output with stacked gravel. Then we've got our 2 secondary crushers, which I'm a little worried that one hasn't shown up yet. Is this just a... Yeah, we just don't have a construction zone over here. Okay. Fix that problem. And then now, so we've got gravel taken care of. We've got antimony grade 3 right here, which needs to be fed in to both buildings at a rate of 0.7. And then we make grade 4 at a rate of 0.5-ish. And then that'll go on the left side. So now we've got grade 4 on both sides, and we can merge that input priority left and come down to here, or wherever it is we need to go. Okay, and then finally, we're gonna need more buffs. Okay. We do have to move this belt for ash, but that's okay because we don't even have the ash belt above it. Why is this stone belt broken? When did I do that? How did I do that? Yikes. Scary problem to create. Alright, anyway, we'll figure the ash out in a minute. Oh, wait, what was on this belt? It was ash and whatever was on this belt, which is... side loading onto titanium? Oh, it was just Antimox. Okay. So this is the Antimox belt. Do I have one in my inventory? No, I'll just put that there for now. So that's the Antimox belt, and then this is ash here. Just to remember where things are going. And this is trash, which is already set up. Okay. So, we've got our 10 buffs. And each of them will be consuming like 1.6 raw coal. So we will have more than a full belt of ash out. Definitely gonna need stacking for that. Let me think about how to arrange all of this nicely. Got all that. This is the only belt of input. It's basically 10 grade 4 antimony in. So it's 1 per second per building. Let me just get rid of all this real quick. Okay, so then for each building's input of antimony, we can do that. Oxygen we'll put on the bottom. Plastic. I forgot about plastic. So plastic's over here. Oh, I saw that. And we're gonna need 1 plastic per second for this. That can come over, up. And then plastic needs its own belt, or more accurately, antimony stage 4 needs its own belt. I'll also do that. So that handles the solid inputs. Oxygen can be handled on the bottom with some of these guys. Okay. And then where's the nearest oxygen pipe? Like down there. So that should be a pretty easy connection. Done. And then finally we need the rock hole in and the ash out. So that is also a bit of a challenge. And then the grade 4 can get plugged into here. Alright, so the ash out can do... Do I need a loader? I mean, what I kind of need is... Let's do rock hole up here. And feed it like that. And then we'll do 2 inserters out on ash, I think is the easier way to do it. Because then that gets the belt here. If I wanted to do a sideways inserter, I would need to, well, hold on. We can also just do a sideways inserter and then side load a belt and then switch sides. And then we'll loader all of that into a chest and then stack inserter out. That's my idea anyway. Something like this. Yeah, I think that'll work. I did break the oxygen T junction there. Okay. Oxygen goes that way, and then oxygen will just T junction down here instead. Remove that one. So then the ash, each building we said is 5/3. And per belt side, we can handle 22.5 So we can handle 4 buildings on 1 belt side. So 4 buildings, and then we need to switch sides. Like this. Then 4 buildings. And then we need an entirely new belt. Like that. And then we can loader, chicken dinner, and then merge. And then I think 2 stack inserters should be fine. I think 1 is actually fine. Assuming that that 6 is meaning 6 stacks per second, that's 18 ash a second. So we'll see if that keeps up. And then the final output is where? Of the antimony oxide? Did I just never set that up? We just never set that up. Cool. Cool. Alright. Can I make even better use of this? Is my math gonna be wrong now? Potentially. Because we're using 5/3 plus 0.1 times 4. That still fits on 1 belt side. Okay, so we can actually leave these inserters the way they are. They'll get rid of ash and antimox. Ash and antimox will both go into here. And then we can just do an Antimox filtered inserter here. For Antimox. And that actually worked perfectly. Kind of elegant, weirdly enough. Wouldn't have guessed that that was going to end up feeling elegant. And then now we have a belt that's way too long here. Never mind, because it's feeding other buffs too. But that should get all the raw coal we need. And then, yeah, I mean, I think that's it. Probably missed something. Usually do. That's only gravel, so that stack inserter's fine. Alright, let's try hooking it up. Uh-oh. Stop. 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 Stop it. Stop it. Okay, first of all, we got big problem here. Second of all, we got big problem here with the sorting. What's going on? These also output stone. I completely neglected that. And these also output iron oxide, and I neglected that. So we got some issues here. Okay, thing one is no. Right. Iron oxide needs to go south. Okay, so that fixes the iron oxide problem. Then this needs stone to also be output. Oh gosh, this is getting a little messy, isn't it? How much stone are we talking for that stage? Because that's this stage. It's very small. It's only 0.5 stone. So I think what we can actually do... no, we can't. Shoot. Hold on, I got it. So we do stone to the right. And then we do our merge. That doesn't work still. Stone's being separated out already, though. I needed... Oh, this is crazy. You don't see that very often. Okay. So now stone's being separated out. This is some good spaghetti. Nice and compact. Stone's going there. Iron oxide is also leaving. You know, if I'm smart... Hold on. Because I might be smart. Might be smart. What if I just did that to the right? I don't know why I didn't think of that until just now. Okay, so now we've got these guys. I did it this way even. So now that's only the antimony that we want, and then this is stone and iron oxide being fed onto there, and then that's gravel. And we don't need all that weirdness. Yeah, okay, that's much better. I don't know why that's not how things occurred to me in the first place. But they didn't. Alright, so let's turn it on. See if this bad boy runs. I still screwed it up. We're still getting stone on there. I forgot about stone on this belt. Oh my goodness. How did that happen again? Stone. Okay. I think everything else is good though. Let's get rid of our ore, get rid of our grade 2, go to the end of this belt because it's going to have stone on it. And I think that just about does it. Beautiful. Now, I also seem to have neglected this part. So far, so good. Alright, so then the last thing we need to do is plop all these drills onto the antimony patch. We should be good to go. Nice. Drive around in our little car. Haven't done that in a while. Alright, and then these are super simple. Really just that. Belt. Power pole. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait, we don't need power poles. Why not? We'll put a lamp down here just in case. Okay, and then we just need that, and that. Look at all that smoke. Pollute the planet. And I know some of you are going to be very sad if I don't do this, so I'll go ahead and do it. Make you all happy. Weird that it was saying can't mix fluids. I guess it had acetylene previously. And to finish burning the acetylene that was still in it. And we're really close to having the whole patch covered. But, oh, this one's also empty? Perfect. In that case, we're extremely close to having the whole patch covered. Because that basically covers everything over there. That part's covered. So the only part that's uncovered is these tiles out here. So I guess what I could do is scooch that one back one. And then we can do like a T-junction here. And there we go. So now we've got the entire patch covered. Sweet. That gets me 25 a second. At the cost of 150 gasoline, that's no joke. But the belt will back up pretty quick. And we are using fungible fluid fuels for that line, right? line is this line, which is this line, which is not using fungible fluid fuels. Ah, now that's interesting. Really? Well, that's a huge problem. Because this is my fungible fluid fuel line. That would be pretty easy to just pump it over here as well. Hold on, let's fix that. We've been using tar processing this whole time and wasting all kinds of gasoline. How did I run into the one rock? Oh gosh, this new driving system is so hard. I was trying to back up by hitting backwards, but it's like WASD driving doesn't work that way. Breaks my head. Okay, so what we actually want here is the fungible fuel system, which I think I'll just bring in along the plastic line here. And that's gonna be, look at that VTX just ready to go. That's gonna be over here. And then we can also pump this way. Okay, so this is now fungible fluid fuels pumped in the system. It was a little bit too far of a long shot. I guess we've got room here. And now we want to remove that pump and bring in this. Maybe I should wait for it to drain out first. Shouldn't this be draining out? Oh, well, I guess it can only drain once the gasoline is drained out of that system. No, that doesn't sound right. And that system... Okay, that is low priority. I just wanted to check on that. Because we're going to end up with a loop there. So I actually need to delete this. Oh, no, I guess I've screwed it up now. You know what? I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that not being part of the fungible fluid fuel system. But shouldn't these acetylene be draining out up here? Was that acetylene full? Okay, well that acetylene drains out once this gasoline is drained. There we go, that's what we're waiting for. And then everything will go to the next segment, essentially. Anyway, the other thing I can do, just to speed things along, is separate this out with a pump. So we can do that. And there we go. So now we got tall oil next. But that should do it for fungible fluid fuels. Oh, I guess acetylene is still being pumped into there. Do I want that? I don't think so. Because that's just wasting coke and a bunch of power. It is making slaked lime though, which will be useful. No, it already is useful. We can already make lime out of it. No, this is the one I'm thinking of. Allows you to make more sodium hydroxide. That's in Pi2 science, okay. Deslaked lime a second. This makes 50 slaked lime a second. I think for now, we'll turn off the acetylene input. Okay. So now we're relying on train-based fungible fluid fuels for all of our stuff here, including the smelteries and the antimony drills. Previously, those were on tar processing, gasoline, and aromatics, but now they're on train-based fluid fuels. But we've got so many train-based things. We've got BTX, we've got the tall oil, we've now got the benzene, which is, I guess, not filling up yet. Wait, what? I screwed something up. Oh, wait. We only... Wait, what's going on? I did something wrong, because benzene's jammed up. Oh, it's okay that benzene's jammed up. No, I've done something wrong. Oh, I know what I've done. Well, okay, here's the question. Do we want to potentially use tailings just to make benzene for fluid fuel? That's the question. Because if we don't want to use benzene just for making the tailings, or just for fluid fuel, like maybe I want to save tailings for something else. What all can tailings do again? Because this is pretty much its main purpose, yeah. So I think what I'll do is I will switch to this pump. Now gets kind of shifted around. So this overflow will go in there. With a pump. And then this now has an overflow at 90 that is restricted right there. Okay, I think that does what I want it to do. So now it'll fill up the fluid fuel from benzene. Yeah, and it should be voiding aromatics? No. We only void aromatics if benzene in here is low. You know what? Let's go back to the old way. Oh shoot, you can't undo picker dollies, so we're still jacked up here. Dang it. Okay, because what we actually want is this. I don't know why this wasn't the thing that occurred to me. Because we'll just do like, if we're at 20%, or if we're at even 10%, because 10% is already 25,000, then that goes to fluid fuel. Then we can keep the same setup that we had here, where this only runs based on aromatics being low. And then we don't need that anymore. Yeah, I think that'll work now, because now we should always fill the fluid fuel one. And we'll void aromatics if we have to. If benzene's low here. But benzene can only get low. Basically, if benzene's high, that means we've filled this benzene and this benzene. Yeah, that's what we want. Okay, fixing the little problems. Now, let's go work on iron oxide final trash. This one should be pretty easy. We are going to have to set up iron oxide usage, because iron oxide is actually really useful, but not yet. Soon we'll be making nitrobenzene with it, or combining it with... We need ferrite. We need a bunch of ferrite later, which is for red circuits, and we need one more thing. Where is it? Apparently we need it to make ethylene. Oh, I'll probably just make ethylene that way, though. Maybe, I don't know. This is cheaper if we have the iron oxide. I'll probably make it both ways. Oh. We can make iron oxide with nitrobenzene. That's what it was. Right. But for now, we just need iron oxide to be something I can trash. So... what's the easiest way to do that? Not that. I could just make iron plates and burn it. This one's pretty good. Free iron slime. Honestly, that might be the way to go, because we just need some tailings. And then just delete the iron slime. Because, I mean, how much is 50 iron slime? It's half an unslimed iron, which then translates to 20 molten iron, which then translates to 15 plates. So we're talking 140 iron goes to 15 plates, 140 iron oxide. That's not worth it at all. We'd be better off just smelting directly into iron plates. It's possible at stage 3 iron that becomes worth it. But all that to say, I think this is just a good way to final trash it. So what we'll do is we will add in a filter here for iron oxide. And then I will filter left iron oxide. So that's basically doing exactly what it was doing before, but slightly different. And now we need to deliver some tailings over here. Should get a delivery pretty much immediately. Make sure to hook that up. I always forget that part. Okay, so tailings, and then we bring that down. And then we find a mixer. And this is literally it. Loader in. Bloop. Do that. And sinkhole. Again, this is final trash. I know you guys are like, oh my god, he's wasting the iron oxide. But again, the amount of iron we're actually wasting here is so insignificant. Like, if I look at iron oxide production, we've been making an average over the last 10 hours of not even 1 per second. And we just found out that it would require basically 8 iron oxide per iron plate. So we're talking 1/8 of an iron plate per second. That's just not worth it. When I'm already making 10 a second and it's backed up anyway. So it's just not close to worth it. So don't at me about my wasting of this. I'm doing it on purpose. I'm doing it on purpose. Hey, we kind of cleared out our to-do list backlog, and now we're back to working on rubber, finally. The thing we've been doing since the beginning of Pi2 Science. So I think first is ref syngas. And let's see, there's circuits 2. Let's build. Yeah, we'll leave space for circuits 2 to expand. So I'll build over here. Am I okay building on that stone patch? I think so. I have another one up here. And I've got the double over there. I think that's probably the... Although that's really far away from everything. I might have to connect up around this side. This patch is probably the best because it's way bigger than this one, but they're both decent. So I'll try to not cover up too much of this, is all I'm saying. Okay, so anyway, I don't think we want those types of stations. I think what we want is F requester for methanol and syngas. And I will request the full 75,000. Have a little buffer there. Are you actually frozen? No, I don't think you are. You're a liar. Okay, and then we'll actually put this one here. That. Okay. And then we produce acid gas as a byproduct. Are we requesting acid gas? I think I did a smart. Yeah, I did a smart last time. I don't know why that request is low. Let's make that a little higher. But yeah, we're processing acid gas into sulfuric, and that it's the acid gas from tailings that is only there to top up. So that means the acid gas request is here first to turn acid gas. Wait, what am I saying? Actually, it looks like it's prioritizing acid gas from flue gas is coming in first. And then acid gas from trains, kind of at the same priority, and then we're topping up from tailings. Okay. That all works fine. And this tailings requester is priority 1, by the way. So tailings will go here first to top up acid gas to 50% before the tailings would ever go to here to become benzene. Do we want that? Tailings to become sulfuric before they become benzene? I guess if we're out of sulfuric, that's probably good. But this isn't measuring if we're out of sulfuric. And we have other ways to make sulfuric. I don't know how I feel about all that. I'll probably just make that acid gas into sulfuric on site, right? No, we need to put acid gas into the network. Never mind. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out whether we need a fluid super trasher or not is kind of where I'm at right now. And I think the answer is yes, because we've got CO2 and acid gas. Okay. We'll get this guy thrown in here. I don't know my parameters generally. I know one of them will be carbon dioxide. Another will be acid gas. And then this isn't byproduct ref syngas, so I don't want it to go into the super trasher. And I don't think I have a way to easily change one of them to only ever be on channel 1. Yeah, I don't think I do. So we'll just need a regular fluid provider. For refined syngas. All right. So then that's good. Syngas should show up any second. And now we need one burner. I'm just gonna do an automated factory here. This is where an automated factory is, I guess, fine because it doesn't use fuel. Still very annoying, in my opinion. But we'll do an automated factory, and then we'll do the rectisols, or whatever they're called. Yeah. We do it like this. No, I guess there's not an easy way to do this without having 2 squares needed. No, I can do that. Yeah, no, sorry, this works. Because we do the inline. Inline 2 ways. Regular 2 ways. And then we do that. Okay, and it says I need 3 rectisols. I'm gonna do, I don't know, 10? I think. Yeah. And then just a basic loop. And as far as per second, we'll just do a loader there. Loader out. This is methanol. Fill methanol canister. I guess this needs to side load onto something. And then we need to think about inserter sides. Okay. So they're going to be on the left going down, which is the inner... So the inner loop is the filled canisters. So that means the outer part of the loop is the... like that. That. Alright. Boom, 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 boom. And then inner part of the loop. Rotate that. Power. 2, 3, 4. Alright. And then CO2 linked up. Syngas linked up. Acid gas linked up. Syngas linked up. And water linked up. Power. Lights. 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 Methanol. Bloop. 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 And syngas. Bloop, bloop. Water is an output that I do not care about because it's such a tiny amount. I don't think I would care about water even if it was 1,000 water a second, but 40 water a second, that's going in a sinkhole for sure. And then finally we've got the important stuff. So we said channel 1 was the CO2. So CO2 is on 1 here. Hold on, this is not a good idea. Should do it like that. So then CO2 can come over right there. And then channel 2 is for the, no, not the water. Channel 2 is for the acid gas, which is here. Okay. I think that's all hooked up now. And now we just need to throw in some containers. What are those actually called? Canisters. I don't know how many I'm gonna need. I definitely need to auto maul that. I also didn't auto maul barrels. And someone else was reminding me I never auto mauled what's it called? Loaders. Okay, and then we're channel 1 along the edge, channel 1 along the edge, 1 along the edge. Alright. Like 30 of each, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of those is fine. Loaders in channel 0 should be 50. Barrels in channel 1 should be 50. Canisters should be 50. Barrels in channel 0 should be 2,000. And methanol canisters should be 1,000. So that gets a good supply of those going. And then I just realized rectisols are not being made anywhere, so Automall needs those added in. Feels like one of these types of machines. Rectisol. Go with 5 on hand at all times. Alright, we're gonna have to call it an episode here, but we've just about got done with refined syngas, and we finished our antimony oxide build, which we should probably check on. Yeah. I did something wrong. Ah, I forgot a belt. Forgot 2 belts. Is that true? Oh yeah, it's true on this. That's so funny. See the pyanodons, you know, sprites strike again. It is working, I just didn't have enough buildings plugged in. And it looks like these buildings are getting rid of their output fully, so it'll go even faster once that gets there. Anyway, as always, thank you guys for watching. As always, I like to say as always, apparently. Leave a comment below, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.